we have the Beeman Jackal 2066 or 2066. It is 110 centimeters long with a 45 centimeter barrel, so a bit shorter than normal there. I am told that is a moderator or stroke silencer at the front, not a barrel weight. You've got the fibre optic at the front and at the rear as well, but no conventional window adjust. I think you can turn that screw and move it manually, but I don't use the fibre optics, but that is the deal there. The stock is wood. I couldn't tell you which wood it is, but a hard wood, and it's been stained, I suppose kind of varnished on the outside, with a bit of stippling along the body and near the trigger area. The trigger itself is single stage, non-adjustable. The buttstock, you have that pronounced cheek piece for right-handers and an aerated butt pad there. There is a automatic safety, non-resettable, and just above that you'll see the arrestor block stopping the scope creep, and a very short 11mm scope rail. Our pellets for today are the Isley practice pellets, which seem to be quite good in all my guns actually. They do seem to be quite good pellets, or good budget pellets. We did go through a few, as you can see, and it didn't like the others at all, but it seemed to do okay with the Bisleys. And so a calmer day today. It's a bit of breeze, but it comes and goes, and so we've got quite good shooting weather to aid our tin can plinking today. I won't bore you with any of my family stories today. We'll just get straight down to the 20-yard, where the Beeman Jackal actually did pretty well. I was quite surprised. I didn't have big expectations for this gun, and that's pretty good. And then we get to the 30, and all our little targets on, I have to say, that's not bad. In fact, pretty decent, especially for plinking. This gun is getting past some expectations. And then at 40, and I know there's a couple down there that are a little wayward, but there's actually 3 shots that hit the bullseye here, and they were the first 3 shots, so those last 2 may have been me feeling the pressure to repeat. I've got to say, the Jackal surprised me. This is a bit better than I expected. When I put the Bisleys in and got the scope aligned, this is all become a hell of a lot easier at 30, and I'm not missing any of these tin cans or bowls. There's a bit of kick, and the front end is a tad light, but I'm nitpicking. There's no problems hitting anything here. think you can hear the gun twanging, and by the time I got to this point it really was. But other than that, there really isn't any issues here. The Beeman has surpassed all my expectations, especially from the beginning of the day, and this is a piece of cake. And what it did on the targets, it's doing to the tin cans. It's very accurate. When I first took this gun over to my uncle's and shot it, I have to say I was ready to bin it, throw it, give it away, anything other than review it. It was a mission to get the scope aligned with the gun. Now I thought that might be due to the fact that this has a very, very short scope rail on there. I don't know why they've done it, there's plenty of room to extend it, but I had to compact my scope onto this scope rail in order to get myself started. It was then that I realised that the gun isn't aligned particularly well for one reason or another, and I had to go extremely left and extremely low, and I mean to the parameters of the scope, to get the gun aligned with the scope. It was also quite pellet fussy. There's a lot of things going on early doors, but when I put the Bisley practices into the gun, it was obvious it's actually very accurate, and I was quite pleased with the accuracy, as you'll see from the videos that I've done with the shooting. I'd say pretty consistent as well, and the power, whilst lower than a lot of my other guns, at 10.3 foot-pound, was respectable enough to use. The trigger, single stage, it's obviously not going to be great, but it was a balanced pull weight, and the creep was minimal. It was usable, and as I was shooting, it wasn't one of the things that I really noticed about the gun, so it can't have been too bad. But it isn't a two-stage trigger, and when I look at all my other guns, and I don't own wire arcs or air arms, in fact I've never even touched one, let alone shot one of those high caliber guns. All my guns are budget guns, so I am comparing eggs with eggs here. But when I compare it to those sort of guns of a similar sort of price range, two-stage adjustable trigger, a better trigger out of the box. Obviously you have windage on the fibre optics. Now I use the scope, but still it's nice to have them kind of things. The finish on the inside here, I don't know if you can see that or not, very rough. It's like someone's hacked at it. Again, worse than any of my other guns. I mean, the finish on the outside's alright, you can't really tell anything there, but yeah, there's shortcuts with this gun. It goes to the auto safety as well, where you've got here, and you can't reset it. It's a bit of a mission to push it in, it's a bit stiff. Yeah, you get the feeling that this isn't of the greatest quality and manufacturing, and then you get led to the barrel itself, which I think is easily manipulated. It's obviously out of sync with the gun at the moment, and that's clearly a huge concern. In terms of handling, the buttstocks are shorter than any of my other guns as well, so it is a little cramped, but you get used to it. What I'd say is a bigger problem than that despite having this weight or silencer, which I'll come around to in a minute, on the front, it feels light at the front, and so whilst I didn't have a problem hitting things, mainly because of the accuracy of the gun, I did find myself wondering a little bit. Back to the silencer, well, it's a bit of a calamity really that this is even here, because at the beginning of the day this gun sounded great. 100 a shot so later it sounded like a dog, and it really did whine a lot, probably as bad as my Crowd Devil. It really changed character. Now I know that's the development of the gun, it's going to get more accurate, may change sound a bit, Maybe the power might go up a bit, all those sort of things, but this happened quite dramatically. And it all leads me to believe that this is all a bit cheap. So despite the accuracy, despite the consistency, despite the fact that I was quite happy shooting it, to be honest, I can't possibly recommend it. It's just not well built enough, and it pains me to say this because I've never said it before, but I would avoid. There really isn't. When you look at the other guns available at this price range, yeah, there's better guns than this, and so I would avoid it.